What's up, guys? Welcome back for another episode. And before we continue with the episode, let's change this lighting. Stay tuned. There's gonna be another video that we're gonna give you guys a full tour of the garage. Let's check this out. It is bright in here, so check this out, guys. We're gonna give you guys a full tour of the garage, but what we are gonna be doing today is a video that I've been wanting to do, and actually this right now is the perfect setting for it. We have the car inside. Additionally, the car is dirty. You may not think it's dirty, but it is dirty. There's a nice coating of dust on the car, but I also wanted to make this video for you guys, for the ones that have limitations of where you can wash a car, whether you live in a condo or apartment building where having a hose and all that stuff is inaccessible. Also for people that live in states where, you know, washing your car, there's a restrictions on that. So a lot of this right here in this video is gonna help you guys out. But also I'm gonna give you guys some tips and pointers that I've used throughout my time of, you know, maintaining my vehicles. And, you know, hopefully this gives you a better idea of what you can do. But stay tuned, we're gonna do a full tour of the garage. The garage is pretty much all set. There's a few things I wanna do, but this has changed drastically. One of the most notable things is obviously the flooring and then the beautiful lights. And at first, when we first installed the lights, I was like, this may be too much, too bright in here, but with everything going on right now, and I love the way it's set up. Could I have done things differently? Yeah, we'll get into that in that video. And in this video, we're gonna be talking about a method that some of you guys may be familiar about, some of you guys may not be familiar about, but it's the waterless wash method, right? And it's also for those scenarios where either you're on vacation, you just took your car up into the mountains, your car is lightly dirty, and there's a portion where it's kind of driving you crazy to get it cleaned. In my situation, I just drove back from Miami. The car's been sitting for about 2 weeks. I haven't washed it. And there's multiple different scenarios that I'm gonna take you guys through that you would wanna probably use a product like Eco Wash from G80. The boys at G80 have been a big sponsor of Beamer Invasion and also my channel, and I love their products. And I wouldn't showcase anything on this channel that wouldn't stand behind. So sit back, I'm gonna show you guys about this product. And I've seen a couple of videos already from the team over at G80 and some other videos on YouTube. And this product has impressed a lot of people. So I'm excited to showcase this to you guys. But also too, like I said, there's multiple scenarios that you would want to use this product, especially if you guys are living in an apartment, right, where you can't use the water normally, whether you can't take a hose out and start hosing your car off and washing your car freely. And also this goes into a portion of if you guys live in a state where there's like a drought issue mandate where you can't use water, you know, to water your lawn or to wash your car. This is a product that you would want to check out because this will save you some time and also some headaches too. And I will talk about it in this video. So I'm gonna list all the dilution rates for a rinse aid, right? Just a rinse aid is basically if you wash the car and you have a spray bottle and you want to use it as lubrication after you wash the car to add a little bit more layer of lubrication between your drying towel and also the surface of the paint or PPF. I'll leave that in the description, right? Some information. And also a lot of the other information for dilutions when you want to do a rinseless wash or a waterless wash, right? So I have the perfect mixture right over here in my chemical bucket, and also have a clean water bucket. We're still gonna use the 2-bucket method just to utilize and also to minimize any damaging, but to be honest, the car is fully PPF'd. I have nothing to worry about. So let's get this started. There's multiple methods of doing it. I'm gonna show you my method that I believe works pretty well. And then I'm sure there's a lot of other videos you can learn from other people. But what I have here is a spray bottle from Obsessed Garage. I've been using their spray bottles for quite a little bit. And it does a good job of misting the product onto the surface of the car. And this is something that I've been using, you know, when it comes to like detail sprays and other things like that. But Before you actually dip your spray bottle into the bucket full of solution and water, you definitely want to give it a nice mix to make sure that everything is mixed in with the water you have. We're using CR Spotless for the water, so we're making sure that all the hard water is out of here. And that is actually one of the perks about having this garage all set up. But the first thing that you would want to do is find the surface, and I like to start from the top down. And the reason why is because as you spray the top, a lot of the runoffs, it's going to go down towards the bottom. And why start from the bottom when you're going to make a mess up on top? One of the best things about this spray bottle, right, is that there's multiple methods. And for example, as I'm spraying onto the car now, what's going on is that I'm adding a layer of lubrication, and this product has the opportunity to encapsulate or basically trap the dust into the solution. And what happens is it allows a layer of lubrication between the towel or mitt you're using to basically pick up the dirt and to minimize any of the marring. And since I have so much of the solution ratio in the bucket, it doesn't hurt to use a lot. One of the things I like about Geon's products is that they work, right? They're just not a gimmick. They smell amazing too, by the way. I will say that. And then sometimes you actually want to go with the spray. You know, give it a nice spray. So is this method ideal for everybody? Absolutely not. It's not ideal for everybody. The reason why you would want to use this method, again, like I mentioned earlier, if you live in an area where it's very difficult to have a wash solution, right, whether you could wash the car at your, where you live at, that's number one. Number two, restrictions like I mentioned earlier. And number three, if you guys are on a time crunch, for my scenario right now, my son's taking a nap, and the active 2.0 is kind of loud. Even with the Krensley, it's still kind of loud. It's going to wake him up because between the garage and where his room's at, it's not that far. So having all that going on, it may wake him up. And if you guys are parents too, naps are pretty vital to keep the kids. So we're going to make sure that he stays asleep, and we'll leave that pressure washer off. So what I like doing is you could use a wash mitt, right? I choose not to. I like to use microfiber towels. And the reason why I like to use microfiber towels is that now you have multiple sides, right, as you fold them in squares. And not necessary, but you would definitely want to keep the direction that you're picking up the dirt in that one direction, right? You don't want to do swirls. And the idea of not wanting to do swirls, right? People think, oh, you're going to minimize scratches. You're not going to minimize scratches. What's going to happen is if you do scratch, it's going to be a little bit easier to take off. So basically I use both sides, and both sides are technically dirty now. Then I could flip the towel inside out. Now I have another two sides. I know some people like using the other method with a wash mitt, which is fine. There's only two sides there, and you're gonna have to keep dipping it into the bucket, and that's something that you could do. But I like this hack too because you can use multiple, towels. So now that I feel like the towel is very dirty, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold the towel inside out, right? And then fold it again. Now I have multiple layers still. And I like to go over it after I wipe the whole entire surface, still going into those single directions, and you don't want to go in swirl marks because that's what really gets difficult to take off. Even for the front windshield, I wouldn't worry too much. You could still, wipe it down. It's very unlikely you're going to scratch glass unless you have a rock in your towel, which there's no rocks on this dirt. So let's just say this is very dirty, right? I'm gonna leave it in my rinse bucket. I'm gonna agitate it in the rinse bucket. I'm just gonna leave it there because I have a few other towels that I'm gonna throw in here just to utilize. And we're gonna be using one of Gion's drying towels. And I'm just gonna fold this in smaller sections. And we're basically just gonna wipe it off. So that's how simple it is, right? So one thing I noticed about this product is that, and from other videos, and they mentioned it, is that this is a SiO2 product. So this adds a layer of protection onto your car. And it basically helps, rejuvenate and to add a little more layer or gloss to the surface of the paint. And actually, you can feel it, right? You can feel the texture of the slickness of it. And if you guys are looking for something that, gives you another layer of protection, especially for a drying aid, and a drying aid should only be there just to add a little bit, lubrication. I feel like this is gonna do a great job. And if you guys are tired of spending so much money on detail spray, this might be something that you could use to replace the detail spray or even your drying aid. Because between, mixing it in with the water ratios and stuff, or the dilution rates, this is actually not a bad deal at all. Okay, so another area that we're gonna do, because it's still on top, we're gonna do the surface of the hood. And the hood, to be honest, there is a lot of bug guts on top of it. Again, this layer here is supposed to help encapsulate a lot of the dust. And to be honest, we just did all the lighting and my car was in the vicinity when we were doing all the drilling of the holes. And unfortunately, I didn't really capture that on a vlog. But what I will say though is the car is covered in dust. I'm talking about dust from the drywall. So we're gonna definitely soak this pretty well. And to be honest, this car is covered in PPF, so I really don't have to worry too much about it. So I'm gonna grab this other towel here. Just gonna squeeze it out a little bit. And what I'm gonna do too is I'm gonna take the towel that was soaking in the rinse bucket and just throw it into the solution bucket. And same thing, I'm gonna fold it in multiple squares and just start wiping. And to be honest, a lot of people have mentioned that this is a better way of washing the car. But hear me out though. You can't do this when the car is filthy, dirty. Let's just say like you just drove 3,000 miles and your car is covered in bug guts in the front and you drove through a rainstorm and there's basically, road debris all across your car. You definitely do not want to do this. That really requires the typical old-fashioned wash, right? You definitely want to be able to wash the car the old-fashioned way because this doesn't work miracles. This is for a certain category of dirtiness of your car, and right now, as you can see from the B-roll before, this car isn't really that dirty, and it's a light coating of dust. For me, my personal opinion, my car was dirty. But just wiping this down, you can definitely feel the slickness of it, and I'm excited to showcase this product because it's something I've been wanting to use, and just transparency, right? Another product that I've used in the past is Optimum No Rinse. And that was a product I've used before in the past in certain scenarios like this. But I've been wanting to try out this Gion product. I know that these guys have, recently came out with it and they've been promoting it a lot. So this is something that's very interesting to use. And what I like about it is that there's no streaks to it. That was the biggest headache sometimes when you would use like a detail spray or some other product. You would have a lot of streaks to it. As of right now, there's no streaks. Granted that the car is not very dirty, but just wiping it down now, that actually came out pretty good. And if you guys have another product that you guys used or you guys are fans of, let me know down in the description, and also it helps other people that watch the video, you know, get a better idea of what products they could use, maybe test out. I know when I first started this channel, I like to test out a lot of different products, and I had a fun time doing it, so it's good for that. All right, so let's get this fender. If you go back to like old episodes of this channel, we had an episode, this is like during COVID. This is like when everybody was masked up and everybody's freaking out and stuff. I actually made a video about a waterless wash, and I was showcasing how to use it. And this just brings me back, like time has flew by so much. And I think about it today, like my son's already walking, he's already babbling, making no sense. Just thinking back to that time when I was making that one video with, you know, with a waterless wash during COVID, and think about now of how much has changed, it kind of makes you realize that time does fly by. Time is very valuable. So yeah, that kind of hit me right now. And one thing you want to do too is that majority of your dirt is obviously in the front, right, front of the car, and also on the lower portions of the car, right? A lot of where your tires kick up, a lot of the dirt, it's all going to be on the lower portion of it. So you definitely want to utilize the clean towel up on top and really concentrate on the bottom towards the end. Or just flip the towel again, have the extra layer of cleanness. So I like to go over it a few times, like twice maybe, and utilizing all sides of the towel. Take that towel, soak it in that solution, and then we're gonna work on the next door. I'll dry these two doors together because they're just so close. I know I was talking to Donnie. He has a F80, I believe an individual color F80. He's actually a big fan of doing a waterless wash or rinseless wash. Personally, before I had my garage all done up and with the lighting, I like the old-fashioned way of washing the car, but I'm actually very glad to be able to, you know, do this inside the garage. You know, I got the AC on. It's a little warm out today in Florida. You guys may be thinking, damn, does it ever get cold in Florida? Yeah, it does. But today we had like 80 degrees and it was pretty hot. So it's good to be in the garage to be able to kind of clean the car in peace and in harmony. But normally I would probably be outside sweating or waiting to the right perfect time, right, when it's a little bit later in the day. Yeah, so far I'm actually liking this product. What I did notice that it smells good. I know some people don't really care about the smell, but if you're in front of it for a good hour, you kind of would want something that smells good instead of just like chemicals. I'm sure either way it's not good for you. So I'm gonna take that old towel, just leave it in the rinse bucket, and I'm gonna take the one that's been soaking in the rinse bucket back into the solution. And another good tip is that you can actually put multiple towels, so you're basically using and minimizing any risk. But I'm not too worried about it, again, because this car is fully PPF'd, and it wasn't like I drove through a rainstorm, and it wasn't like very, you know, disgusting where it really needs a typical wash. So going forward, the guys over at Gion are actually going to be at our show, the Invasion of West Palm. So they'll be there showcasing some of their products. So if you guys have any questions, you can reach out to them, talk to them, and maybe they'll give you some better insight. But also too, think about it. When we first had the E92 M3 giveaway, we actually had the team over at Gion, well, Belair and Reed, they were over here getting the E92 M3 all dialed in and all like, you know, polished, ceramic coated, and it was good. It was a good time. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but there's so much gloss onto the car now. And just touching, you know, on it, you could feel like the slickness of it. And again, that's the SiO2 base that's helping the slickness and also the sheen and shine to it. Definitely I noticed it on off camera, but hopefully you guys can notice it on camera. So we're just gonna do one side on camera because there's no point in me sticking the camera on that side, and you know, it's not really a good angle. But this gives you a general idea of what you can do and some of the tips and tricks. But also it's kind of like a wash cast, right? You get to talk to you guys in front of the camera in, you know, finally the garage with the amazing better lighting. So stay tuned, there's gonna be a full tour of the garage and some of the plans that I wanna do too. There's a lot more things I need to do in this garage, but just don't have time anymore. Just between work, invasion stuff, being a father, and then trying to do things like this, yeah, it takes up a lot of time. Again, the pre-soak part is to really just help encapsulate the dust or any dust molecules on here. And the product, the reason why you mix it in that certain ratio, it allows it to emulsify, basically bring or lift the dirt up, and to kind of capture it. And I definitely use a lot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dip it back into the bucket full of the ratio. And just add some more. And I can see here, this portion here is very dusty from maybe just driving from Miami and stuff. Is the pre-soak part necessary? Probably not, but it's also good to have that extra peace of mind. Yeah, but I'm super excited about the Invasion of West Palm. Later this month, we're gonna be having a meeting with the staff members at the South Florida Fairgrounds. We're gonna do some promotional shooting there. I got a couple buddies of mine that are gonna be showing up, and we're gonna showcase exactly what the car is gonna look like when you head to the indoor VIP area, and also showcase a little more about the planning, because we like to be very transparent with the planning we do and showcase how much time and effort goes into planning these events. And just to give you guys an idea, it's always a ton of stress. If you guys have ever planned a birthday party for somebody or just a family member or a family event, it is super stressful. And right now we are about less than 2 months away, so I know it's crunch time for us, at least for our team. And I'm just gonna flip it again. Yeah, you could definitely see all the dirt right over here. So I'm gonna flip the towel inside out again, fold it, and just use the other portion of the towel. And I'm just gonna soak it in this bucket again, take the other one out, and take a little assembly line. So just grab the drying towel and dry that one surface, and we'll wrap this video up because this should be a quick video for you guys to understand and also allow you guys to find a different method of cleaning your car. And also gets me in front of the camera again. But hear me out. If you guys are watching this, you guys get a little teaser of what to come, right? We have a nice meeting somewhere in Miami, and we're trying to plan something big for 2026. So, the invasion of Miami. This month, it's a very busy month, right? We have more promotional shooting for the event. We have very interesting meeting somewhere in Miami. And in 2026, it could be the invasion of Miami. So if you like the sound of that, hit the thumbs up, let me know in the comments, and stay tuned. I think that's gonna be pretty epic if we're able to pull it off. And the reason why I don't wanna say anything yet is because there's so many things that go behind the scenes of what it takes to make these an epic event. And we always wanna make these events an epic event for you guys. We don't want you guys to travel great distances, or if it's in your backyard, right? Like if you guys live in the area, then we still don't want you to waste your time. We still want you to have a good time. So that's why we're taking a lot of time and effort into making sure these events are solid. And this is looking really good. So let's take you guys a little further in. Look at all that shine, right? And going up to it, it just feels so smooth. But give it up, guys. The lighting in here is amazing. Another thing too is that I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, how are you gonna clean your wheels? You can probably clean the wheels with the same solution, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm probably gonna use a different, well, I am gonna use the same solution, but you definitely do not wanna use a towel that you care about. Use a towel that you're probably gonna throw out. And what you can do is spray the wheels down and then wipe it down with a towel. And that's gonna help basically allow you to clean the whole car in the same type of wash solution, but going around the car, look at this. This paint is spotless. And also, here's another tease, right? I like to tease you guys. I do have some mods that are coming to this car. I don't know when it's coming, but it is crunch time because we have the invasion of West Palm Beach, and that is in less than 2 months. So I have a few things that needs to get done before the show. So crunch time, and I'm excited. All right, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if this is a method that you would use. But this was a good scenario when I used to live downtown Fort Lauderdale in a condo where I couldn't use the hose. There's actually certain times where I actually attached like a 50-foot hose and just ran it down towards my parking spot and washed the car in like odd hours. But that was just me being OCD. But this is a good method for the ones that are, again, it's not very dirty and to a point where you want to get a quick clean, or that you just don't want to turn on the pressure washer because somebody's sleeping in the house and you want to do this just to de-stress and just to relax. Because I do find it very relaxing being able to wash a car and to see the final results, which is the extreme shine of the paint, or, you know, just being able to zone out. For me, it's very relaxing. I definitely want to thank the team over at Geon. They are super solid. They always have amazing products. And this is a product I highly recommend. This is something that I would use for scenarios like this. And there's another product that I want to showcase you guys eventually one day, but this is amazing. This stuff here, the ceramic detailer, number one, it smells delicious. Number two, it does an amazing job of giving an extreme gloss. I used to be a big fan of Beadmaker. I was such a big fan of Beadmaker that I still have all the gallons I bought a few years ago. They're still on the back of my supply rack in the garage. But I've been only using Geon ceramic detail. This, I'm telling you guys, if you switch over, you are not gonna regret it. And one of the good things about this that I noticed, that it leaves no streaks. And that was one of the pains I had with Beadmaker. Beadmaker will leave some streaks and it'd be annoying to get off. So I wanna thank you guys for watching this video. You know, it's been a good time chatting with you guys and, you know, kind of teasing you guys of what's to come. But I think my son's about to wake up from his nap and I gotta get going. So I wanna thank you guys again for watching this video. I appreciate all the support and love that you guys always, provide. I wanna thank you guys again, and I'll see you guys on the next video.